remember to unmute the microphone this time. Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Hi again.
We have our beverages. We have a new guest. Why don't you introduce yourself, sir?
Hi, I'm Joe Grubb. I'm lead designer for Dominations. Some of you I've been talking to on the forums a lot.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Here to answer a few more questions.
Awesome. So what we're going to do with this first chunk is we're going to show off some of this new stuff in action, address some questions that have popped up on various social sites, and just really kind of hang out and kind of get into the weeds a little bit with some of the technical stuff, and we'll do community corner where we look at some of the things that you guys have been creating. We always encourage you guys to submit things on our social channels. Please, if you're making stuff, share it with us so we can share it with the larger community, and we would very much appreciate that. And we will do more giveaways, not right now, so don't start spamming chat right now, but we'll do more in a little bit. So what do you want to start with?
Let's go to battle. Let's make sure we've got a good loadout first. Do you have any? What's in your loadout? What do you take usually to battle?
You tell us the secrets.
What's the secrets? So one of the secrets that's come up a lot with Assault Rally recently has been using your heavy RPGs with it. We are taking a look at that. So we'll get into more info on that later. But definitely stacking your RPGs with your Assault Rally is not a bad idea. Being able to pair your heavy tanks with machine gunners. If you don't have your big red button yet, you need your big red button. You have your big red button?
I do.
All right.
And we also have the reticle from our space shuttle. So we'll be able to deploy that and look for the traps and stuff like that.
So we'll have the double.
So, yes.
And we researched Sally Ride, so we'll get 3 missiles.
Oh. Yeah, we did
right?
the
We finished
triple.
the capstone,
Yes,
right?
we finished the capstone, and I took the library research as well. So we should be in good shape.
Just to address this real quick, we're not going to talk too much about matchmaking today, but we can say that stuff is being looked at. So that's all we're really going to say today. I see the questions for Joe. Joe, what about matchmaking? Stuff's being worked on. We promise we'll have more information in the very near future. I think it's cool stuff that you guys will like. So that's all we can say right now. So I'm going to get him out of the hot seat. I will step into the hot seat and say the stuff is in the works, and that's all I can say for now.
Cool. I'm just going to poke around one or two more things. We can look at we can call out this quality of life improvement, the upgrade from inside your barracks, which is really nice. That way you don't have to poke around going back and forth of like, all right, what do I have in my army? What do I need to upgrade here? You're like, no, actually I really want this guy to be, let's bump the heavy supply convoy. Boom. Oh, well, we need to build a mill. All right, let's see if we can take a look at some of this stuff. We have our missile silo there. We have 2 rallies. So let's do that.
I'm going to do it. Is anyone else experiencing crown envy?
All right, so what do we target?
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It is. Oh.
All right, so it'll take out some oil stuff over there, so we'll be able to watch that hit and then do some splash damage. All right, looks like it'll take out this bunker down there, so that'll be cool.
Coliseum.
The Coliseum, so that'll be good for
Airstrip.
defenders, yeah. So cool. Maybe we'll see what happens if we do... So we cannot lead with that because it needs a 10-second countdown, so battle will start before we can use that. So we'll say, we've got these guys in our thing, so we'll start these guys down here. And then we will...
Hit the big red button.
I'm really glad you're
And then
driving.
you want to hit it?
Hit the
Oh, yeah.
big red
Do
button.
it, Joe, do it!
Oh,
Here it
big
goes.
Oh, nice.
All the way
Alright,
across.
Got him.
Cool.
Took out the whole bunker.
Took out the whole
Very
bunker.
nice.
All right, so before we drop too many guys, let's do the satellites as well. If that'll... Again, this is an early build, so I don't know if... let's see what's out
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, you got some of them.
Okay, cool. Nice. All right, so now we actually have to deploy some troops. So pardon me. Here we go.
So it not only revealed the traps, but it also disabled them. So, you can kind of read your opponent's base layout, see where likely places for traps, and then use that tactic to punch through that line.
Yeah.
I see. Small radius, not too OP.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we went back and forth a lot on the radius for satellites. The initial version, it would do about a fourth of someone's base layout. It was a little strong. Ended up pulling back on that quite a
But
bit.
it also didn't disable the traps back then, did it?
Yeah, the very first iteration was only revealing.
Let's send in some of these guys.
So with Assault Rally, I know there's lots of questions in the community regarding Assault Rally. What have some of the challenges been of it during its implementation? Because it's sort of a game changer.
Yeah, one of the original goals with Assault Rally really didn't come from the stat modifications it was doing. It came more from the fact of Dominations is an RTS, and being able to control your units in the middle of battle is really part of the appeal. Having access to just the standard rally in the game kind of give you those limited moments of being able to redirect your troops. And so the initial question was like, hey, what if we can give you a more targeted redirect so you can min-max your troop orders in the middle of battle. And it evolved from there of like, okay, well, can we give a stat bonus to them if we want to send these group of troops to the specific building, but leave the rest of the troops that we've identified to go take out defensive buildings elsewhere. We need a way for those troops to be able to execute on the command you gave them, and not just the small group dispatch over the side and die. So a good amount went into then balancing, figuring out what we wanted those stat modifications to be. There's definitely been some conversations about the defensive power of Assault Rally, and we've been studying data on that a lot, and looking at the how it's being used, both that and the performance level of it. So when you are bringing Assault Rallies, what's your destruction range like? And from a performance perspective, Assault Rally is actually not an outlier in terms of how well it's doing in destruction rate. But
so it's not tipping the scales or anything. It's performing actually sort of as you guys are expecting.
But that said, players are completely just shifting to it strategically. It is a lot of fun to use, but we didn't want to completely overshadow Protect with it, for example. So you can expect some balance changes coming, not in 7.0 here with Space Age, but in a future release. We wanted to let Space Age hit first. There's obviously a lot of combat modifications in Space Age, so we sort of want to see what plays out with that before we then make additional changes to Assault Rally. But most of them will be in the vein of how do we make those meaningful decisions for players of should I bring Protect, should I bring Assault Rally, should I bring something else in terms of my war tactics. And so look for changes, but not necessarily nerfs. They are more likely to come in the area of shifting its power points into different areas and away from damage mitigation.
See, that's why we love having you on this, because that answer, your mind would have been like, yeah, it's really cool. Yours is a little bit more specific, which I love. Well, that's super exciting. Do you want to reveal the number?
Yeah.
Are we at the point?
Yeah. So
someone in the chat said they're going to bring out a big poster that says it. They're like, oh, we don't have anything fancy.
I got a Sharpie in the back of this piece of paper. If you need us to go, we'll do it live.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We've got a few close ones there. I see come up. So the level you need to be at, soon is going to be 246. So if you're not there yet, you've got a little bit of time. Not a lot. Try to get your level up and be ready for Space Age.
Yeah, 246 it is. So this is literally the first time it's been announced.
Yeah.
So there you go. You here in Facebook Live and on Twitch are the first. I don't even think we put out a press release about it, and we didn't even say it in the press release. So,
right.
It is. You guys are the first, so that's pretty exciting. Thank you for tuning in. So now you can go ahead and tell your respective communities and tell all your alliances and all your pals what the level is. So 246 is going to be the level, which is pretty cool.
It was high as guesses were as high as 280.
I saw a 300.
A 300.
300. I saw a 300. Yeah.
Oh,
that would have been
revealing anything yet, obviously, but it's not the end.
Right.
There's other cool stuff that is coming. So
I don't know.
Organification. Thanks for the follow.
Maybe
I
we'll
don't
do it
know
at the
if we
very
can. Yeah, that's why I didn't say anything, because I was
Right.
like, when there's stuff we could. Anyway, we'll stay in the safe zone for now.
Right. For those of you that are fans of history, know that the Space Age might cover around the 1960s, and I mean things happened between then and now, so there's definitely going to be
there's more to come.
Yeah.
We could show the preview in the town center. Maybe it's there.
Maybe maybe we'll hold that off to the end of the stream.
All right, I'll save that
We'll ask the
for you.
powers
That's a
that
good
be.
idea.
We don't want
But
to.
yeah, but as you know, currently right now, if you tap your Cold War, town center, you'll be able to see the preview for the space age. So the same thing happens here. If you tap this town center, you'll be able to see the next age, sort of a hint or a tease at what that might be. So.
We got a question. We get this a lot on the social channels as well. Are you going to add new events to reduce build time? I don't know anything about events, but I know as someone who's been playing, like I have been loving the speed ups. They're like perfect. Like right before I go to bed, I'll just like queue something up, and the speed ups really help me get to where I want to be before I let something build.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys are enjoying them. I feel like they're given away pretty readily, especially during special events. So hopefully you guys are enjoying them.
Which one is this? The VLA that gives them out now?
Yes.
Yeah, one of the Wonders gives out speed ups too. So that you should probably build a very large array if you like speed ups.
Yes, very large array gives speed ups now too, which is cool.
Right.
Future, I'm seeing all these guesses for the ages. Future age, information age,
Future.
Future age.
computing age, alien age. Is what
That one may be a while.
the alien age. Whenever, when you guys are just like, you know what, whatever, alien age, quantic age. These are wonderful guesses. Keb's Empire followed us. Oh, one fun thing we can do at the end, even though we're not going to show it off, is we can still have them guess about April Fools.
Oh yeah,
We
can do that
can't
too.
show off what's being done, but it was fun last year to have you guys guess. So
Yeah,
We'll
there were some fun suggestions that went to the hopper for that one. So
let me go through some of these community questions that we got.
Sure.
Let's see. We got the level requirements. Do we talk about glory decay at all? Is that something we can talk about?
We've not yet. So I can talk about that some. We have run it once, and that first run was pretty successful. We gave a little bit of warning because we didn't just want to hit everyone with it. We want to give alliances time to go and war if you actually wanted to maintain your spot on the leaderboard, and then followed through. That is not an automatic operation. It is manual, and the reason for that is primarily so it's not on a predicted time scale. We try to be pretty loose with it. It does look back pretty far. It gives you a couple weeks buffer when we do run it. So it's something we're kind of holding in our pocket. If leaderboards become stagnant, then we will act on them. While we're not talking too much because there's not much more to talk about right now with matchmaking, the big note there is that when we do roll out the new matchmaking system, there will be another decay that occurs that will actually apply to all alliances, not just the inactive ones. And the goal for that one more is to get everyone back down to a normal distribution around the MMR range that we want alliances to be paired with each other against. But the general note for there is your position on the leaderboard shouldn't change because it is hitting everyone in a relative similar fashion. It's more of a, you can think of that more as like a big number crunch to bring everyone in unison back down to something that's a little more reasonable for the new system to use.
Very cool. That's good information. Thanks. Were we going to talk more about the wall? We talked about walls.
Oh yeah.
Can we talk about that yet?
Yeah, no, we can talk about that. We also didn't mention it, but we also are giving new wall additions for the space age, and kind of all across all of the ages. But with this update, there will be more walls that people can use, and it'll be scaling up as you age up. So Bronze Age is going to have 3 new walls, then moving up into Iron is going to have 4, kind of moving up exponentially to, at the very end where people are at in Cold War right now, you were able to get 140 if you had all of the research for the Middle Age library tech being done, Medieval Age, and then you'll be going up from 140 to 154, so 14 additional wall segments, and then the new wall level for Space Age is going to be 161.
that's a lot of walls.
It's a lot
That
of
is a
walls.
lot of
That's a lot
walls.
of walls.
Yeah, a
That
lot
is
of
a lot of
interesting
walls.
possibilities for base design.
Hey, we are going to look at some of your bases here in a minute too. So a lot of you guys have been submitting your bases on our social channels and during Screenshot Saturday as well, which is always awesome to see. You guys have given me many tips over the years with your submissions, so I appreciate it. I know the rest of the community does too. So we'll look at, I think we have like a good 15-20 different bases to look at in the coming segment. So if you want to see how the rest of the community builds, I think you will like that segment. Maze design, new meta, LOL. I would love to see some mazes.
Well, that's what Kristen was saying earlier, is that she thinks about it sort of as sort of an old school tower design challenge of where do you put your towers and how do you set up your defenses so that way when the players come in, do you want to route them towards something? Do you think that they'll head first to be blocked by the wall, or are you going to put a trap in an opening so that way they are more likely to tunnel through that way and then get hit by the barbed wire or things like that. So tower defense is maybe not too far off.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of validity to that. There's a lot of strategy, of course, in base construction, and you see a lot of really different strategies in how where people place their towers and defenses and traps and facing off. Like I skip all the bases, and I'm like, oh, this guy's a genius. Look what he built. I can't even parse like what exactly this is. There's like this crazy zigzag. I'm like, I don't even want to deal with it.
Right.
Pass that, please. Question regarding houses. Is there going to be an additional house for citizens with Space Age?
I don't believe so.
No.
We're hearing no. Okay. And that right now no. So I saw that question pop up a few times. So there's your answer right now. It is no. And let's see, someone's asking, is there no upgrade for heavy tanks?
Did I already do it?
We may have already done it.
Sorry. I've been sort of like quietly in the background, just plugging through some of the upgrades.
Yeah.
So that way, you in the stream, if you're watching, I know people like to really look at like what the stats are. So I've been doing it kind of quick. You'll be able to watch this because it gets saved for a little while, and then we'll save it out and put it on YouTube and things like that. So that's why I wanted to at least get a chance for you to look at like, what's the stat bonus is the armored car upgrade and things like that. So yeah, so I'm trying to just share that with the community as well as we talk about other things.
Very cool. Why don't we, while we're kind of fielding questions and running through this, why don't we do a couple more attacks once you're done doing your upgrades and stuff?
Yeah.
And show off some of the stuff in action, because we haven't really showed too much of it. I want to see more big red button in action myself, because it's cool. I want to see you guys make like a BRB shirt with just like a button on it. Like,
BRB big red button. Oh, that's
Got him. Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go start. Just follow. Thank you for the follow. And lots of folks were following while we were talking, so we do appreciate that. That's awesome. I see lots of familiar names when we do these, and it's super cool to see the same people coming back. And I know we haven't done one in a couple months due to travels and Space Age being built. so it's cool to be back and see familiar names.
And Space Age is the development of an age doesn't happen just between one release and the next update. Space Age is something that gets planned like way in advance. We start building units, and the art team has to come up with buildings. It needs to go through rounds of design and rounds of playtesting just to make sure it's fun and it's functional all the way through, and it reads clearly, and the buildings look even better than they did in the previous age. So it's not something that we can just sort of hustle through. It takes a lot of time and a lot of really talented people here at the studio to make this happen.
Yeah, that process started actually right after we released Cold War Age. The second that was out the door, Art was already moving on to start working on Space Age stuff. And like you were mentioning, Greg, like it's not just that they look better from one level to the next one, but they also have to look cohesive as a whole base. Like you're going to look at all these buildings not as, a single building in a vacuum. It's going to be on your base in like a big zoomed out way that we need to make sure it looks cohesive, looks evocative of the age, it reads well enough so that way when you're looking at stuff for attacks you don't get confused between buildings. It's a really intense process.
And design gets really far ahead. I mean, and we're launching Space Age now, and we're already looking and have design work that has been completed in a lot of cases for the next 2 ages, even beyond Space Age. So we're able to go really far in advance and help feed the machine that is Art that's able to crank this stuff out so quickly.
Our art team and our design team are all the best.
Very cool. I love that you guys plan that far ahead.
Cool.
And,
we can hit the barracks. We can hit the sniper tower, which actually is probably going to be the best for us.
Is that a tank depot?
Is which tank depot?
Down the bottom one.
The bottom one.
Is that a tank depot?
No, that is a storehouse.
I misread.
Yeah.
Got the storehouse. So sometimes you won't hit great targets with your missile silo, and that was kind of the point. That's one thing that I was very adamant about in the design of the missile silo, is that a lot of times you kind of have your strategy in Dominations, and you've min-maxed it and you've repeated it ad nauseum, And every single fight, you're going to just try to execute that strategy. And the missile silo kind of throws a wrench in that. Sometimes it's going to hit the storehouse, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not really changing my strategy up much. But sometimes it may hit one of those key buildings that you had sort of built your army around. And so now you're changing, as you go into this fight, what you may have been trying to do at the beginning. Every now and then, maybe it'll hit their missile silo, and that can be a game changer for that fight. But you're not guaranteed it every battle, and that's where a lot of the fun of this building comes from. Not just the first time you use it, but the 100th time you use it and beyond.
Tedokas, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I said it before, but I really do love the random nature of the big red button. I think it's really, really cool because you could, like you said, get incredibly lucky and hit high value targets, or you could just hit something that is a little bit less valuable, like a storehouse. So, see, I'm looking through chat questions here while you guys are fighting. I see. Good to hear that Space Age is in the end. Yeah, Space Age is in the end.
It's only stealth on its first run. Do. There we go. This is the Nighthawk.
New Nighthawk.
This is going to be an upcoming troop tactic as well. It's stealth on its first run, so it had that obfuscating cloud, and then it'll go through and do bombing runs as well.
And by stealth, nothing can hit it on its first run. It won't trigger traps. Air defenses won't hit it. So it has a free attack on whatever you send it after. Just for its
so dangerous.
Just for its first run.
That is so dangerous.
Unlike the Night Witches that have stealth all the time.
Yeah.
Those are fantastic. I love the art on those too. Where's the question? Sorry, I saw a great question and then it scrolled up. I'll find it, I promise. Oh, will Space Age be able to attack Atomic Age?
Yes, the top age in Dominations is able to attack 2 ages down. So some of you might have noticed recently, or we talked about it in the forums and some other places, that Cold War age bases were not able to find global age bases when you were searching. That's some of the groundwork that we laid in order to release Space Age very, very soon. So top age will be able to attack 2 ages down. And since we're making the shift from Cold War to Space Age, it'll change who the sort of floor for that is.
And that will generally be true moving forward, unless we have a reason to deviate from it. That's something that you ought to be able to expect, that the top age, because attacking is always +1, -1 of your current age. When you're at the top of that chain, you can't go above you anymore. So we allow you to attack 2 down, so that you can still find opponents to interact with.
And there are also sort of benefit of the doubt mechanics that we do also give you. Like if you were now at Space Age and you match with a Cold War Age base, you are still going to get museum benefits as if you had attacked a Space Age base for amount of fragments you're going to get, just because the pool of Tapas people is going to be smaller innately. So we didn't want to punish people who maybe couldn't find their exact match in the pool, and instead just give them the benefit of the doubt when attacking to the next lowest one.
Very good answers. A couple questions from chat.
Yep.
At what age is that second airstrip available?
Oh, we're not talking about Atomic Age.
Okay.
No, we didn't talk about that yet.
Well, now we have.
Awesome. There you go.
I saw on our forums there was a little bit of concern for Atomic Age players. What are they getting offensively? And they're definitely getting the second airstrip. There was a lot of work that went into that from the balance side. Also, if we're introducing a second airstrip, you can build this new building, increase your air pop cap. What do we do around balance? So we've done some to increase air defense balances, but we also like to have some of those peaks and valleys in terms of your strength. So as an Atomic Age player, you should see your attack power increasing alongside the airstrip. It is absolutely not an even bump up in terms of power. Over time, as you go into Cold War and certainly Space Age, the power does sort of even out again, but you will notice an offensive boost as an Atomic Age player. Awesome.
Yeah, and I see a lot of really specific questions. We will have, like we said, we'll have the patch notes available tomorrow with a lot more information and some fun stuff for you guys as well. So take a moment, and then tomorrow you'll be able to check it out. Tomorrow morning, probably pretty early, we'll have it up on the forums and on Facebook, and also on Twitter. So keep an eye out there for all the patch notes in all of their glory. So.
One thing I wanted to call out with those couple of friendly challenges, we're doing a lot of talking, we're doing a lot of like very showy stuff, but between the first attack and the second attack, we had mostly a barracks composition and then mostly a more oil heavy composition the second time around, and it went from the mid 60s to the high 80s percent damage, and sort of just halfway having a conversation and halfway playing the game. So when you do get these factory units, they do really bump up your army. And they're sort of balanced a little more for the higher ages as well. So that's something to consider when you're building your loadouts and stuff like that.
And Sally Ride too.
And Sally Ride as well.
She
yes.
helps a little.
A lot. Yeah, just a lot.
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of reticles that showed up there as we fire that big red button off.
Can you check her out one more time for
Sure.
folks that didn't see her for the first hour? So
Yeah,
we get the new university leader, Sally Ride.
Yeah, she's all the way at the end now because we completed her tree earlier.
So she grants an additional reticle for a big red button.
Yep, that's her capstone is missile command.
Yep, additional 2 on that one.
Yeah.
Then when combined with the library tech, you also get 1 from there. Or is it 2 from the library?
1.
It's 1 from the library.
I can't remember which version we settled on.
And we should have we didn't call this out specifically, but she allows us to have this heavy tank spawns machine gunners. So when our heavy tanks are destroyed, it'll spawn machine gunners as well on your attack. So it's a good way to bolster your offense as well. But yeah, this whole tree through and through is a pretty solid addition to your army.
Here's a specific question. With the second airstrip increasing the total air capacity, will the bonus from Amelia's capstone increase to +2?
No.
No.
It is still 1. It is you get 1 from her, one from the library, and then the 3 from each of the airstrips.
There you go. I'm trying. If I see good questions pop up in chat, I'm trying to address them. So feel free to fire away.
Have you talked about the full archaeology book on the museum yet?
Briefly.
Not yet. We can go into more detail
Let's
about
do
that.
it. Let's talk about it.
Just the one interesting note that I thought about, the library oftentimes is going to be percent modifiers, and or, maybe you can add an additional building or something. But one thing I particularly liked about the archaeology book, which is one of the first ones we've done hitting the museum, is the last chapter there being that after you fully level up this archaeology book, there's now a chance when you're crafting in the museum to hit 3-star artifacts, something that you couldn't hit before. Originally we were talking about just, hey, let's just up the percentage that the artifacts can happen, but we really want it to be a payoff that you saw in the museum. So after you get this book trained and you see that 3-star artifact, you know it absolutely came from the fact that you've finished researching this library book. So that's if you're interested in the museum and like getting a jump start on artifacts as you craft them, that's definitely one to dive into.
I think that's also my favorite library icon in the whole game is that one. I think it's really good.
It's pretty
art-wise.
cool.
Yeah.
It is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the art at the library. Question also in chat. Any new coalitions?
There are not new coalitions right now, but the Unisphere Wonder now will actually make use of your coalitions. I don't know if you all went over that or not earlier when I wasn't here, but that one was exciting for me because it also gives you a choice as a player of which defensive coalition do you like. It's going to take your coalition, defensive coalition that you've leveled up the most, and will also be the first time that they can now show up in regular PvP battles.
Awesome. Someone's asking about the cost to upgrade to Space Age. So the actual.
I do not know that.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it. We'll let you know.
I may be able to find out.
We'll look for it for you. We were not prepared for that question.
It'll have to remain a mystery for a little while, yeah.
It's the answers with the big numbers.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Not prepared.
Building upgrade cost. Oh god, let me read that number. 15,000 gold. Sorry, 15 million gold.
15 million.
15,500,000 gold.
Scrooge McDuck levels of gold.
Yep. And it's a
15-day upgrade.
You're dropping the bomb on the house.
So that's good, yeah. No, this seems better. Seems like some center-based stuff, especially with your planes there.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, so we could run with that. The other thing I wanted to do was show off these guys and the destruction of the Unisphere, so we'll try to see if we can take that out. Where's our generals too? Bum, 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 bum. There they are. Is that the Russian coalition with the tanks?
I believe so.
Yep, there they are on defense.
And there goes
there's the missile
unoffensive
silo. All right,
missile
so
silo. Let's strike back with
Yeah.
our own missile silo.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, we can do that.
Oh,
We'll taking our stealth run there, straight down the middle, and we'll drop all our missiles all at the
just
same
dodging,
time. There we
dodging
go.
missiles.
go. Yeah.
Yep.
Look at that.
Yeah, that actually took out that air defense that was going to hit your transport as it came through.
Yeah.
I'm totally making
Oh,
it.
but he has all
Until
the
it's
sand, all the sand batteries.
Oh.
See, that would have been the trade-off if we had the space shuttle
space
tower.
shuttle
We could have
instead.
taken out those guys instead.
Yep.
You know
Yeah.
what'll totally turn the tide of battle are the poll winners, the Vikings.
Oh yeah, the Vikings.
They
Send them in, boys. Here they go. Get them.
were not expecting
That's
the
right.
scourge of Scandinavia.
Right for the gold, just like true Vikings.
There we go.
There you go, straight down there on the bottom. So, yeah.
I'm like, wait, where did these Vikings come from? I love it.
Let's put these guys. Let's distract them for a minute. Sorry, this is very disjointed now. I'm just playing around to
Oh,
show
it's
off
all
some,
good. I was
show off
just
some key
everywhere.
elements.
watching the chaos
Sorry.
unfold.
Yeah, no, it is. It's 100%. Oh yeah, we want to show these guys if they get destroyed how they
really?
produce. Let's see. We can follow those guys for a little bit, unless it's a
Very cool.
They're a little
Yeah.
strong.
yeah.
Question: Can you crown Hannibal to level 70?
Yeah, all
yes.
of the generals are increasing in
Okay.
So, yes.
Mason8585, thank you for the follow. You're here just in time for the explosions.
Yeah, these guys are gonna be—they're super beefy. We'd have to call them to the center if we're really
Maybe a bit.
focused on taking them out. See, I'm trying to do it and I can't. That was the ambush
I didn't get
there.
to see the fall of the Vikings. I wanted to see their
Oh, sorry.
their
Yeah,
glorious defeat.
oh,
They probably got hit by a
more excited about the
large
action.
explosion.
I think that was also something that we noticed during internal playtest too, is like with so much more air troop capacity, like you can bring way more planes and way more bombers and different loadouts, and it's just been a lot of fun to have like that much direct control over it. Like going to battle with that many planes, it was hard for some of us to actually go back to live where the planes were less PopCap and we're like, this is it's not as much fun. I'm used to having so many planes, so now when that goes live, we're pretty sure you guys aren't gonna ever want to go backwards.
That's the whole
There we
thing
go.
when
Boom!
you
There they go. Da-da-da.
Nice.
Two machine gunners hopping right out.
Thanks, Sally.
Cool.
That's very cool. Love it.
The rest of the battle is a wash, but we got to see that, so that was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clip it.
Yep.
Same as Night Witch, basically. A little different than Night Witch. Just the first run.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
Yeah, just the first run. Also not a biplane.
There's a power difference in the bomber is a bomber.
Yeah,
So
also
that,
not a Ricky
that first
biplane.
run is going to do some damage.
The Night Witches used to throw railroad spikes and like whatever else they could find out of their planes. Seriously, they would just throw bricks or because they ran out of munitions, so they would just throw whatever they could find. Imagine being in World War II and getting hit in the head by a brick
It came from the sky.
that came
Yeah.
from the sky.
From a plane you can't hear
It's
because
amazing.
they turned off the engines.
Yeah, amazing. So yeah, if you haven't read about the history of the Night Witches, please do so. It's really cool.
I'm more excited just with the instant sell button right here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
nice.
that's going to be a great boon to everybody.
I'm a big fan of the like artifact color too, like in the names. Like it's really easy to
Oh,
see
yeah.
at a glance what is like really good and what's not. Particularly for players who I don't think want to invest a ton of time in the museum, but just want to get the benefits of it. It's a really nice at a glance. Okay, I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah. Like that, yeah, you get rid of
Very
all
cool.
white stuff. Yeah. Ta-da.
Cool. So I think we're gonna do, unless we want to do another run before we do community corner and
We
show off
can-
some community stuff.
Maybe we can hop into the community stuff for
We'll
a
do the
bit.
community
Yeah.
stuff. All right. Well, Joe, you're off the hook, sir.
Off the hook. All right.
Thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
by.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, you can. Joe's on the forums and stuff all the time, so say hi to him there. And he's working hard on making the game awesome. So give him a high five through your screens, and he'll be back hopefully next time we do one of these. And
Awesome.
thanks for coming, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Back to work you go.
Yeah.
See you later.
Sneak out of here.
Work on Alien Age. I hope Alien Age becomes a thing.
Oh man. So one of the things that I wanted to call out real quick, because we were here doing the friendly challenges against this space age base, we snuck this in and we didn't really announce it sort of at large. There was a community war that we set up for Valentine's Day. We do community wars from time to time. We like to help out the effort where we can. Just like you guys do all the hard work of like finding people and making the teams, and we just like to do the handshake and make the two sides match up. But for the Valentine's Day war, we were able to add a couple of new custom emojis for chat. So if you do a left bracket, like this, and then say heart, all lowercase, you'll be able to see a heart show up. There you go. Ta-da!
There you go.
You can also use the word community as well, and you'll see a heart there as well.
These are secrets.
Secret hacks.
We should fib and say there are 40 of these hidden.
Right.
There's not 40 of them.
There's quite a few.
There are. People don't realize it.
And treasure is the other new
Treasure.
one. Yeah, treasure.
TYT for you. Thank you for the follow. We appreciate it.
TYT. That's not how you spell treasure.
Treasure.
Treasure. There you go. So yeah. So go ahead and use those in your chats if you're curious, or if you need to express yourself with treasures or hearts. So cool, community corner.
Yeah, community corner. Let's go over there. So we do these during our streams, and it's sort of our way of showing off some of the cool things that are going on in the community. And I always ask if you guys have stuff that you are working on. If you do a regular, if you record YouTube videos, or if you do live streams. Honestly, whatever it is that you're working on, send it our way. You can find us, of course, on the forums or any of the social channels, and just link it to us and be like, this is what I'm doing. It's really cool. The first, really quick, before we get into some of the pictures people sent me, I want to give two quick shout-outs to Dominations Tips on YouTube. If you guys go to Dominations Tips on YouTube, Dominations Tips does videos every single week. One of the things I do every week, and this is, again, sort of an inside baseball secret, I look at like tons of videos that are posted every single week on YouTube, and I gather up a handful of them, and then I send them off to the larger groups. I send them off to folks at Big Huge Games and to Nexon, and they check out your content. So if you are making content on YouTube, odds are I'm going to see it, and everyone else is going to see it too. So Dominations Tips has been doing really great content on YouTube. I encourage you guys to check it all out. Really, really solid stuff. And Harris Dominations as well on YouTube does some really great stuff. Now for the submissions, let's see if I can pull this up. I have a better one.
I was gonna say that those go wider than just the internal teams here. There's a post that we do weekly on the forums called Rally Point as well. So if you have a really neat tweet or a really interesting Reddit subreddit thread or things like that, so we link a lot of the stuff there for you guys to see each other's works and each other's like victories when you have a really great victory. So so that includes like all the YouTube stuff and all the that's really where you should. A lot of the great strategy will come out of those YouTube videos. And what we do here is we're playing around. We want to really show off a lot of the highlights and stuff like that. So deep strategy comes from you, the players, who know a lot about the game and are really clever and knowledgeable.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Sandbox has been doing great stuff for a really long time. A lot of you guys have already heard of Sandbox. They're doing another Draft Wars tournament. You, of course, can hit them up on Discord. They currently have over 2,000 members of their Discord community. They do events all the time. The link is here on the screen for you guys to check out. I'm not going to type it into the chat because I will Butterfingers it live. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and just take a screenshot of that and head there. But definitely, go hang out with these guys and become part of the larger community. They're doing great stuff, and they continue to do so. And make sure that you sign up in time for Draft Wars 2. It's pretty cool. It's a new event coming up. We have Prime, Dominations Prime. A lot of you guys have heard of Dominations Prime. This is 2,000 plus members of Prime, which is a community inside of a community. Mm-hmm. They're doing great stuff all the time. And I think I still have a hotkey here. Let me see if I can do this real quick. This might be a link. If it works and doesn't explode. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a link there in chat if you're on Twitch. Sorry, Facebook Live. But you can go to this URL here on your screen now. So anyway, Dominations Prime, if you want to be become part of something bigger and you want to hang out with like-minded Dominations fans, definitely head over to Dominations Prime. It is really, really awesome, run by a bunch of very kind, very cool people that do really, like, some of the most hardcore events that I've ever seen put on by the community. Very in-depth, very cool, and I encourage you guys to all join up and become a part of it. So that's some good stuff. I like that a lot. And last but definitely not least, I got sent the new graphic for this while we were out at lunch. I didn't get a chance to put it in. So this is the old graphic. So this is a live stream put on by Gail Hu and leader of the Hobbit Zombies, who I famously was part of until I got kicked out unceremoniously. Yeah, it was sad. I was really low. And they were like, who's this guy? Get him out of here. So I was kicked out of Hobbit Zombies, but I'm still plugging your live stream. This live stream is coming back in April, so it took a little brief hiatus, which happens, and it is coming back. So the information here on your screen, definitely go to the YouTube channel, check it out, subscribe. If you enjoy talking and hearing about Dominations with some really cool, fun people, then head on over to the Gale Just Want to Have Fun live stream. They are really, really nice, really fun people too. And I do encourage you guys, again, I'm going to go ahead and put our social channels up there one more time, just so you guys can check this out. These are the channels you can reach out to us and let us know that you have stuff that you want to promote. So you go to our Facebook page, go to our Twitter, and of course you can go to our forums and reply there and share your content. Honestly, I would love to promote your stuff on our social channels. All you got to do is reach out to me and let me know that you're doing something cool, and I will support you to the best of my ability. So I love content creators, and I love seeing what you do, and I look at it every week. So please, if you're making stuff, reach out and let us know, and we will gladly support what you do. I'm seeing chat is exploding, and I cannot keep up, so I will catch up later. I promise. So
what I was gonna say, one of those fun community things is happening tomorrow. The Titan War we're gonna kick off.
Yeah, tell us about that.
So out of the old series was called the Live Expert series, and they rolled that into a new series where experienced veteran players get to share their knowledge with new players, and this Titan War is a good way for the two to go side by side and watch each other's attacks and give advice on better layouts and better strategy and where to drop troops and stuff like that. So it's really exciting to see the community not only just sharing knowledge but developing over time as well. These really deep strategies and really deep connections. So very proud of all of you, and it's been delightful to watch from where we are.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
So before we close things out, we are going to do another patch giveaway before we get out of here. We'll do that at the very end. We want to look at some of the bases that you guys have submitted on our social channels. So one of the fun things we like to do is you guys submit your bases either on Screenshot Saturdays or on the base submission days, and we write all the names of your bases down, and we take a look at them. Let's look at one of the lower ones first.
Lower ones first.
Yeah, if there are any lower ones.
We got a lot of really engaged players that sent us.
Yeah. There's a 101. Let's look at the 101.
There's 101. Okay.
All right.
Saint Dark Dragon. I think that's on the sheet as well. If we'll log in just a second.
Yeah, honestly, thank you guys so much for submitting these. We got hundreds of submissions this time. And we do like to look at them, so we just grabbed a handful.
This one, look at this! It's a whole figure S shape.
Yes.
So the Saint Dark Dragon, capital S to begin with. So So it's
this was pre-planned. This was something that he thought of.
Yeah, I wonder if this is a second base.
Oh, that has to be a second base.
Yeah.
Especially because this whole row here that we're looking at now didn't exist in the first launch. This was part of the Forest expansion pack. So you'd have to. And with the combination of this Forbidden City here, so you got to take that out, and the town center, especially when you first load the game. Like we loaded this, and we're like, oh, that's it. That's gonna be easy. We'll take this out super quick, and you're like, oh no, actually, you need to go all the way up here.
This is specifically built for war, just to prevent the person from getting 5 stars just through the time it takes to slog from one end to the other.
Yeah.
So very smart.
Yeah.
If I got this, I would cringe and be like, why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool though. I mean, it's a strategy. You know, it is what it is.
So awesome. That's one of our suggestions we got. Let's go. Who else we got? Mighty Man 23. I think that was one of the new ones we added.
Yeah, let's check it out.
All right.
Ooh,
It's a
Nelly.
missile silo centered base.
Mm-hmm.
Got to defend that puppy, huh?
Yeah. So with the announcement that we made, we didn't put it in the patch notes pop up, but we did say it while we were sitting here. Is the additional wall segments that you can add. So that's gonna be really neat to see coming forward. Of like, would they put dividers in here in order to like stop you from moving from one half to the other half, or would they just extend that and cover this square as well? Or do you do a third ring, or a fourth ring all the way out around your base? I think we're going to see some really neat design decisions there when that happens.
Your town center's way down in the corner.
Yeah, that's just to give up the stars and get the peace treaty for a little while.
Probably.
It'd be interesting to see if you get bases that couple this with the peace treaty and then with the resource additional generation from the new wonder.
The Lotus Temple, yeah.
Yeah, to see if you particularly couple this base layout with that resource generation bonus. So, but that'll be up to you with your design, and it'll be super fun. All right, so
What else are we going to check out?
we will check out Galmar. It's also fun just to say that names. Just
yeah.
as everybody
Fumble
suggests
through
their
them.
veins. Yeah.
Yeah. Red Dragoon. Red Dragoon, thank you for following us.
There's 2 G's too. It's Dragoon.
Dragoon.
Red dragging that name through the mud. Ugh.
Oh, that was good.
Yes.
Pro level.
Yeah.
Puns.
We got him. Cool. This is
very
Galmar,
cool.
yeah. This Greek, an atomic age Greek base. That's cool.
That's definitely oil saving centric. The refinery right in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, stay away from my refinery.
Good luck getting to that one.
Yeah, that is very heavily guarded.
Yeah. That's
Now, what would you guys do if
sorry,
you were an atomic age? Where would you? We can go back to it if you want.
Yeah.
What would your advice be for attacking a base with that particular layout? And this is I'm asking for my own benefit because I keep getting paired and I'm not doing so hot these days. So
I'm gonna jump to the next one if that's cool. And we'll comment on that one.
What exactly was the question again? Sorry.
Where would you start on these bases if you were to attack?
Mm-hmm.
That's his Gaius Baltar. So
holy moly,
that's cool.
Yeah.
I love the mortar placement. He has like a super battery right there in the middle. Like anything in this radius is just going to get pounded.
Yeah, absolutely. There's kind of like, the way that everything's split up right now, it's kind of like, what is your army better at doing? So particularly out towards the north side, I'm noticing there's a lot of unit defender producing buildings. There's a lot of bunkers, there's towers and stuff in there. But then if you kind of go to like the more east side, there's that kind of section of 3 towers and the sniper tower just off towards the left side near right there.
Yeah.
So it's like, where is your strength? Did you bring a lot of people that are good at killing defenders so then you can go after the buildings that produce the defenders and be stronger on that side? Or are you better at punching through walls with like a wall miner and then getting through to buildings? So I would attack on that side if that's where my army composition was built out. But you also kind of have to identify like, where are actually the key targets? What are you trying to do here? Are you trying to attack and get all the resources, or are you trying to attack and get 5 stars? What's your goal here? Because there's a lot of like, where is the town center? Let's figure out where that one is.
Yep.
Over there, where's the oil refinery if I'm going for oil? Probably somewhere near the center, right there.
Yeah.
I also noticed that they didn't protect their missile silo all that well. It looks like they probably had this layout built way beforehand and then finally finished the missile silo and then was like, yeah, let's put it over here. So that one seems pretty vulnerable to me.
No, that seems like a trap because it feels like this missile silo to have units to be deployed nearby. It would be definitely within the threat range of these guys in the center.
Probably a bunch of traps right in that same vicinity.
In this empty spot here, yeah.
But if we had the space shuttle, then we could just scout it and then get the quick snipe on it. Yeah. Imagine also too with the offensive missile silo, if it happened to be in that center of all of the mortars, the splash damage would damage all of them, probably take out others, and that would be a really high value hit for this kind of base.
Yeah. The other, I was looking here too. I was like, you just take this out for a couple of stars, but then you also have the castle super close, and it'll start spawning generals right away. So it's not just the target you want to hit; it's the target beyond that you need to consider as well.
What you want to hit and what you're good at hitting.
Yeah.
Awesome advice. Very, very cool. I see like a lot of the elder players in chat being like, I could roll that in 5 seconds. You're like, man.
I totally believe it.
Yeah, I totally believe it too. We have like some really fantastic players here in chat from the things I've been watching them say. So thank you for devoting so much time and energy to the game. We really appreciate it. We have time for like one more base to look at.
This is Lord Stark.
Lord Stark's Cold War age base. It's funny, the second hour always goes by like lightning fast.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Is that the same forum as Lord Stark?
I don't know. It's possible. So let's see. Yeah, missile silo off to the side. So
AEDAC33, thank you for following us. It's very cool.
It'd be interesting to see where people place their
Yeah,
second
I don't
airstrip. I wonder where that's going to...
Yeah.
Do you have to clear a forest specifically to make that? Probably. This is a fairly tightly packed base. Mm-hmm. So that'll definitely be a consideration to be made.
Very cool.
We gotta get room for that second airstrip.
Yeah.
We did talk a little bit about Assault Rally when Joe was on during the beginning of the second hour. So once this posts, you can go back and listen to his responses regarding Assault Rally. There are, I think, constantly some balanced things going on, and Assault Rally is one of the things that is going to be balanced in the future. Cool. Well, let's start wrapping things up. We're nearing the end here. Let's do one last giveaway here in the chat, and then we'll do a social channel plug, and then we will pack it up. So we are giving away a handful of these Dominations Space Age patches, continental United States only. So all you have to do to enter is on Facebook Live or here on Twitch TV. Do hashtag Space Age in chat, and I do encourage you to please check your in-game, or not your in-game rather, sorry, your Twitch inbox. That's how we're going to contact you. So if you're watching on Twitch or if you're watching on Facebook, check your Facebook direct messages or your Twitch inbox for a notification that you won. And of course, we'll have to get your mailing address. These are very limited. They're only for developers and friends of developers and things like that. And they're cloth and they're very cool. They look great. And they're of course for the upcoming Space Age release. So in chat for one more minute. We'll give it one more minute to run. Do hashtag Space Age. And on Facebook Live as well, you guys can do hashtag Space Age. And we'll check it there too.
Sorry, I'm just poking around
No,
the
it's
base
fine.
now and just upgrading
It's totally
random
fine.
things. So this is the level 11 barbed wire. This is the ambush trap at level 9. So these are some of our Space Age upgrades and things like that. This is our brand new mortar. Punch holes in the sides of everything.
Someone's asking really quick for the Discord for Sandbox again. I'll plop that up very
Sure.
quick.
Dominations Prime.
There you
and
go.
Sandbox. There we go.
So yeah, grab a screen of that if you were looking for this one. I'll just run through these real quick before I do the final farewells.
Yeah, don't forget, if we want to, we could also show the preview of the next stage in the town center as the last thing.
Yeah,
if you
we
wanted.
can?
Yeah, we can do that.
We can do that. Okay, let me get there.
Let's do it. Huh. Yeah,
So
yeah.
so
All
we're gonna do that.
all right.
Cool.
So, I didn't know we could do this. This is
Yeah.
news to me.
I mean, it's gonna show up in the game anyway as soon as people get their hands on
Okay.
it.
So here you go.
And actually, the visuals of it work way better than just the still as well.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So
we did something extra. Like usually for these, it's just like a still image of what we think is the next one. We did something a little bit special for this one.
All right.
That's
here
why
we
I
go.
want to show it off so bad.
So the next age is
the digital age.
the digital age.
with
All
the
of
cool retro lettering.
all of its 80s glory, and the splash art for that is all with the scan lines and everything in the night vision goggles. Choice.
I love it.
It'll be awesome. Yeah.
I love it.
So in this case, coming soon means not coming for a while because we still haven't. You guys haven't gotten your hands on Space Age yet. But as we always do, preview the next stage. So it's going to be digital. Again, confirming that Space Age is not the end of Dom. We have a lot more planned beyond this. Digital Age is up next.
My one request is a totally 80s synth audio track that's just that you just can like there's like a wonder that just plays it.
Right.
Please.
Sorry. right.
I don't ask for much. I just want a ridiculous 80s synth track that plays in my game. So there you guys go, Digital Age. Very quickly before we get out of here, I will plug our social channels one last time. They've been popping up the whole time. But please follow us on all of these. We have Play Dominations on Twitter, /Play Dominations on Facebook. We, of course, have our Nexon.com blog with all sorts of historical blog posts that we put up usually about once a month, maybe a little bit more in the future. And, of course, you can go to the official forums, forum.nexon.com. And please join us there. Become part of our community. Like we said, we see a lot of familiar names. Thank you for showing up. We very much appreciate it. We are going to close out with the little trailer that we released this morning for the Space Age. And Space Age is right around the corner, guys. So, keep refreshing your game. And maybe not today, but keep refreshing your game soon and you'll get it. Okay. Thanks.
Sounds
we very
great.
much appreciate it. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. You guys are the best.